teach a course called Copyright and Culture, and it's about the impact of copyright law on the production of culture. And I generally have students write several assignments, and in place of one of the assignments, I give them the option of doing a video assignment. There's no specific assignment. I actually allow them to write their own assignment and find a way in which a video assignment would fit within the confines of the course, a way of exploring intellectual property in a hands-on way. And I've had a huge variety of work, all very good. One student, for example, I'll just give 2 quick examples. One student created his own character, his own animated character, and went through the process of licensing music and background material. And that was a great experience for him, and really enlightening for me. Other students have used public domain material, Creative Commons licensed material to create new kinds of work. It's in every case, this turned out to be more work than writing an essay, and in a lot of cases, I think reveal things that in writing an essay would never have revealed, very practical things.
I'm teaching 2 courses that are cross-listed with anthropology and cinema studies, and in both courses, I've opened up student projects from writing papers to doing visual projects. It's not just limited to film. And part of the reason for that is that this semester I have 80 students, and honestly, the thought of reading 80 papers is not as appealing as the thought of looking at 80 media projects, but there's really much more than that. I'm very interested in students learning that production, there's not a single cause-effect relationship between having an idea and creating a production. That if they're going to study media, if they're going to study films, if they're going to study any kind of media, they need to know what goes into the production, because they'll have a better understanding theoretically of how these things get made and why they are made. So my students are doing anything from video mashups to faux film trailers to comic books. One's doing a dance, some are doing music compositions. And the idea is for them to know what goes into a production in order to be able to step out and say something theoretical. Each one of them is assigned a popular mass market film, Pirates of the Caribbean, RV, just some of the strangest films, and they have to connect it to a film that we're doing in class using an anthropological theory. And they find that connection difficult, and that's good, because to connect 2 films that seem to have nothing in relation to each other, but to use a theory to tie them together is what they're doing in their projects.
Regina.
I teach at the law school. I'm the director of a Documentaries and the Law project, and I also teach a course called Visual Legal Advocacy. I believe that visual legal advocacy is the wave of the future, that lawyers will be producing and directing their own short films on behalf of actual clients. So I start my students about the task of learning how to produce and direct documentaries for real people. I don't believe that film should be wasted. So my students have produced clemency videos on behalf of formerly incarcerated, formerly arrested persons who are seeking pardons. My students have also produced an asylum video on behalf of an ethnic Chinese Catholic family that is about to be deported. This semester, they're doing things like making a film about the pardon process, making short films in both Asian languages and Spanish and English about visa consultants who are defrauding immigrants who want to stay in this country. I hope that my students understand that it's important for them to know how to make a film so that they will be better producers and directors of films once they go into actual legal practice.
I teach several courses for the critical writing program, and as you might expect, most of the assignments consist of short critical essays, film reviews, op-ed type pieces. But at the end of the semester, I like to set collaborative learning assignments for my students. And the past several semesters in my courses, I have assigned them video-related projects. In a course on race and popular cinema last semester, I assigned them mashups with a point. And I asked them to create not a mashup as in a remix trailer, but something more akin to like a mixtape or compilation. And to imagine that that would be used as a teaching tool for future classes. So last semester, the students created 4 of these projects, most of which are available on YouTube. One was for highlighting racism in Disney. And that one I thought was particularly successful. It spotlighted the different ways in which different racial minority groups have been portrayed by Disney. Not surprisingly, African Americans, Latin Americans, and Asian Americans. But students also produced videos on the representation of gays and lesbians in the media, the differences in office practices from 1950s, learning videos to The Office. And this semester, I'm really looking forward to projects that they're doing. They're making short videos on identity at Penn.
I teach in the Urban Studies program, and in a recent course called Community Economic Development, my students made a variety of films on readings that we had been doing in class. During the break, during the week-long break during fall term, my students went out to a variety of places in the city and across the country making videos on themes that were in the readings. One of the most interesting films involved students who went down to New Orleans. The students made a film which juxtaposed the official tour guide bus tour of New Orleans with an alternative tour done by an anarchist group in New Orleans. And the resulting film was a juxtaposition of 2 different ways of seeing New Orleans.